As regards elections, were these by-elections or by-elections?
So BY.
BUY. Because all I saw during this by-election was vote for sale. Who is the highest bidder? The highest bidder in some cases with coercive force of states now celebrate that they are triumphant. So people that bought elections in the by-elections celebrate that they won elections that they bought. I weep for Nigeria. These by-elections also, people that claim that they have political power, that they've come together, now see that politics is local and they are crying. So it's a tale of two cities, but it's a sad tale for Nigeria. Because, like Tiponel will famously say, politics is local. But because politics is local does not mean people should be buying elections. Look at the person that was caught from a certain political party with over 29 million. Look at officials that were caught with over 2 million. So while we are celebrating, we should also look at how of a joke the democracy has been. So maybe in 2027, maybe people should go and just put money. Because you see, Nigerian politics has now become a case that it is the best money that wins. Money, efforts, thugs, buying everybody. Once you can do that, you get your way. Buy everybody possible. There's nobody that money doesn't buy in this country in the grand scheme of elections. For the winners, what did you win? You bought it with money. Was it truly the reflective hope and aspiration people did have in you? Or it was because of your money? Why not we build a society that it is based on your works? People will vote for it. I know people that days before the election, they did road. The road that they didn't do all this while. If you see the way they completed the road, even if the road is a Amolumala road, they completed it.
Maybe we should have elections more often.
Oh my goodness. They completed road in a speed to be able to beg. So, this is a signpost. But kudos to the APC. They got 12 out of the seats. Okpebolo got a trouncing win over other parties. The senatorial candidate, the pair that was vying for his own seat, they did well. He still maintained his stability there because that was a point to prove for him. Seyi Makinde held his own angle. In fact, some people are now using that to say they tip Seyi Makinde that maybe it's the new kid. No, LA politics is local. He also wanted to use to prove a point. APC swept 12. APGA, Soludo too held his own turf with APGA. They consolidated. ADC, we didn't see anything from ADC. So it's quick now. We have to start asking questions from the ADC. The coalition people are coalitioning. What's happening? What's happening? By election, you have to show yourself. We didn't see anything.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, many years ago, after the return to civilian democracy in 1999, we used to use such expressions as, oh, the Nigerian democracy is putative, the Nigerian democracy is inchoate, and the expectation then was that the democratic process will grow, lessons will be learned, and there will be better consolidation in terms of the democratic process in Nigeria. But unfortunately, years later, 1999 to 2025, what we are seeing is that the professional political class has refused to learn its lessons. What we are seeing, too, is that the institutions of state continue to fail the people and the country. Hence, the democratic process in Nigeria, you can still say, is still in a developmental state because the right lessons have not been learned, the right improvements have not occurred, despite several revisions of the Electoral Act, the Enabling Electoral Act. You can count up to about 10 revisions of the Electoral Act since 1999. Now, that said, the second thing is that the most recent election was the 2023 general election, at the end of which the conversation was again about electoral reform. And commentators on the subject have already identified areas of improvement, either in terms of performance of the electoral umpire, or in terms of the attitude of the political parties, or in terms of punishment for electoral offenders and reducing the degree of infractions. Now, after that 2023 election, we have now had by-elections in 16 constituencies in 2 states. By-elections conditioned, ordered, enabled by deaths, resignations, court-ordered reruns. And what have we seen? What did we see over the weekend? Just 16 constituencies in 2 states. The same old problem, reinforcing the fact that lessons have not been learned, that the political class has not changed its color, and that institutions continue to fail. How did the institution fail? Beavers in Edo State. Beavers did not work in Edo State. Still, despite the fact that this was just a small-scale election materials arrived late in certain places. 2, you had vote by. In Ikperu, Remo, a certain Mitsubishi van was intercepted containing about 2.5 million naira, in cash that some persons who said they collected the money from a man called Political Solution were going to give to the electorate at the polling booths. Now, what is the political solution? Cash, vote buying. In Ogun, Kano, and one other state, a total of 288 thugs were arrested. Those thugs, what will be their main trade? It will be violence. In 2 constituencies in Kano State, the PDP and other political parties have requested for the cancellation of the elections in those constituencies by INEC. In other words, just to speak broadly, in Enugu State, in one polling booth, a serving minister of state was booed by the electorate who were wondering what he was doing at the polling booth, trying to influence the process. So that's that about, general trends and behavior. And that is why I think that these by-elections will have to remind us that INEC still has to do a lot more. And the imperative of electoral reform is non-negotiable. We need to take a second look at it, and we have to take it more seriously. And that reform must not come 2-3 weeks to the election. It must come. We could have had the opportunity to test some of those reforms. This beavers never works. It didn't work in 2019. It failed us in 2023. Is it going to fail us again in 2027? With all the protestations by the electoral umpire that they have digitalized and modernized their operations. We do not see that evidence. This by-election over the weekend is a poor comment on the growth of the electoral process in Nigeria.
Just my people asking the halt, it don't happen, no. God go bless you, Mr. Rufai, for speaking out the truth and for speaking for those that have been oppressed by this by-election. People who don't buy election finish, they come, they congratulate themselves, they win, they did this, they did that.